What's up, guys? So here we go with UFC on ESPN 5, I think 6. Thompson versus Pettis, and I don't think it's as good as last week as far as names, but still a great event, I think. The main event is great. The second one, this one could be boring. This one should be great. Figueiredo has been steamrolling through people, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's an okay event, but for sure this one and this one will be fun. I think this one should have been co-main event, but whatever. So here we go. It's Thompson versus Pettis, and I'll be doing just the main card. And I was gonna say what I said in my last video. By Friday night, or maybe Saturday morning, I should have already all my picks made. So if you ever want, if you care about my knowledge or my opinion on any given fight, just put it in the comments and I'll reply to you. I mean, you've seen my record. I usually pick the right guys. So, okay. So hear me out on this one, okay? Thompson versus Pettis. So when this fight was first announced, I immediately said, "Oh, easy pick for Thompson. Easy pick. Thompson's gonna win for sure." And a lot of times, you know, that happens with me. When a fight is first announced, I'll have like an immediate reaction. But then when the closer the fight gets and I start to actually think about it, you know, sometimes I'll change my mind. And so this one, I mean, as you can see, I have Pettis by decision. And this is by no means a me flipping a coin, or like, I have my reasons to believe why I think. Oh, and by the way, I'm not saying 50-50, but I'm definitely gonna say 51-49. So, but you should not be dropping a paycheck on this one or anything, because it's definitely not a very confident. It's one of those that I run into where I'm just not very confident. But here's the reason why I think Pettis is going to win. If you look at all of Pettis' losses, are to guys that can either out wrestle him and just hump his legs against the cage or take him down, or guys that put pressure on him that completely drain his energy and then end up finishing him. Steven Thompson doesn't do either one of those. He's not a wrestler, and he's not a guy that pushes the pace to try to outwork you and finish you. If you look at his last two fights versus Till and Masvidal, it was a whole bunch of waiting. I tried to counter, and while, I mean, the only legit advantage that I give Thompson is height and reach, but even then, it's not like, we're not talking about a massive height and reach advantage. If you, I mean, it is definitely an advantage, but it's not huge, you know. It's so he's 6 feet tall and he's 5'10", and then 75 and 72 3 reach. You know, when you get into the 7-8 reach advantage, it's when it's massive. Like, it's a decent reach advantage, but it's not huge, you know. And like I said, Thompson doesn't have relentless pressure, and he also doesn't have just, you know, a guy that out wrestles you into a decision. So, and, you know, can you really say that Steven Thompson has better striking than Pettis? I can't. I mean, I don't think he does. I think he has the reach and the size, but, you know, if they were the same size, could you really say Thompson is the better striker? I don't know. You know, it'll be up for debate. Now, if it goes to the ground, I can for sure say Pettis is the better submission artist. You know, this guy has submitted Charles Oliveira, who himself submits anyone. Michael Chiesa, who was bigger than him, and you know, has submitted a lot of people. He submitted Ben Henderson, who I think he had never been submitted before. Submitted Gilbert Melendez, who I think had never been finished before. Submitted him. So to say that if this goes to the ground that Pettis cannot submit him, that's, I mean, I believe he can, if Thompson doesn't, you know, take care of himself. and that's why I have, and I don't think Pettis is gonna go there out there to try to slug it out with Thompson. That would just be dumb of him. So I expect him to use a lot of kicks, so that he can, shorten the reach advantage of Thompson. Maybe leg kicks. Even a liver kick from Pettis will drop Stephen Thompson. I would not be surprised. And at the same time, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if Thompson knocks him out with the punch, But I wouldn't be surprised if Pettis walks away with a decision or even a submission, if he's able to, if he times the takedown well and Thompson is not expecting it. I mean, that could very well be the game plan. Go round 1, keep it standing. Round 2, take him down and try to submit him. I mean, at least if I was his coach, that would be my game plan, to use my grappling. But like I said, 51-49. But I have Pettis with a huge upset by decision. But by no means I'm super confident. But I gave you my reasons as to why I think Pettis pulls it. Oh, and the other thing I was talking about, 36 years old, man. He's closer to 40 than what he's to 30. He's at the age where he doesn't get any faster, he doesn't get any better, any more explosive. He's at the age where things start to slow down. So, something to keep in mind. Pettis is still technically at the prime of his career, on paper at least. Then Willis versus Curtis Blades. So, I mean, there's nothing other. I think the most impressive thing about Justin Willis is the fact that he trains at AKA with Kane in DC. So he definitely has a lot of let me see how old this guy is real quick. So Willis is 31, so he's also not he's not a youngster, but he's not old either. And Blades is 28, and so Willis is also on paper on the prime of his career. And the thing is, I think Blades is gonna pull the decision, but I think it's gonna be a very boring decision. I mean, if you watch both these guys fight versus Hunt, I feel like it's gonna be a repetition of that. But at the same time, these guys are heavyweights, and all heavyweights can knock each other out with one punch. So this is another one where I'm also not super. I wouldn't be surprised when it comes to heavyweights. I'm always like, I would not be surprised if either one lands a punch that knocks the other one out in the first round. So careful with this one if you're gonna bet. But I have Blades by decision. I just think he's faster, more dynamic. I don't think Willis has the cardio to keep up with Blades. Willis is a fat guy. But again, one punch is all it takes when you're this heavyweight. So, but Blades by decision for sure. Then McDessie versus Pinedo. This is going to be. Pinedo has not fought anyone near the caliber McDessie has. I think this is a mismatch. I think McDessie is going to see what the odds are on this one. Yeah, I mean not as heavy as Thompson and Pettis, but I have McDessie KO TKO. I'm gonna go with round 2 actually. I think Pinedo survives round 1, but gets a beat down, and I think he gets finished round 2. But I think McDessie is overall the much superior striker, and there's nothing Pinedo can offer him. I mean, if you watch McDessie versus his fight versus Trujillo, who in my opinion would smoke Pinedo. McDessie was beating him. I think that punishment would have finished Pinedo. So McDessie and KO round 2. This one, I got Figueiredo KO round 2. What this guy has been doing to all of his opponents, it's just ridiculous. He makes it look easy. Even what he did to Moraga, absolute complete destruction. I don't think whatever Jussier Formiga has nothing on the stand-up for Figueiredo. He does not have a chance on the stand-up. He knows it. Everybody knows it. His best hope is to do what he did to Sergio Pettis, which was get a hold of you, hold you down, pull a decision. And Figueiredo, I think he's just too big, too dynamic, too explosive for that. So I have Figueiredo KO round 2. He'll figure out his distance, the timing, and the game plan of Formiga, which is take you down, hold you down, possibly submit you, but it's not going to work. Figueiredo KO TKO round 2. And then I also have Luis Pena, also KO TKO round 2. I watched footage on these two guys. There's nothing special about Steven Peterson and the like what I was talking about, right? When I was talking about Pettis versus, now this is a huge reach advantage. 8 inches. We're not talking about 3 inches like Pettis and Thompson. Here you're talking about, and also 6'3", 5'9", not 5'10", 6'0" like Pettis Thompson. So when people talk about the reach on Pettis and Thompson, it's not that big. It's decent, but we're not talking about a huge reach advantage like, for example, these two guys. Pena KO TKO round 2. Kind of the first one, just gets his timing on the first round, gets it going, tags Peterson, eventually finishes in round 2. This one, I've said this before, I said it again, when it comes to women's MMA, it's so unpredictable. I've been so wrong before that I'm going with what the odds say. The odds say is that she's going to win, so I'm going to go with KO TKO round 2. I'll take credit for it if it goes to KO TKO round 2, but we'll see what happens. And then I have one on the where is it? It disappeared. Oh, here we go. So this is my other underdog, which is a Frankie Saenz, which is not a huge underdog, but I usually believe in guys that have NCAA, Division 1 wrestling, like Saenz, can pull a boring decision. If you watch Marlon Vera's fights versus Canetti and the one before, he gets taken out extremely easy. No takedown defense whatsoever. And the last guy he fought, Canetti from Argentina, I don't even think he even knows what wrestling is, and he was still able to take him down. If Saenz is smart and his coaches have a game plan, they're gonna pressure him, get a hold of him, take him down, and just fitch him. Decision. So that's it, guys. So I'm gonna do a quick summary. So if you're skipping all the way to the summary, I recommend you listen to why I'm picking Pettis. I really recommend you listen to my reasoning, but I have Pettis by decision. Curtis Blade by very boring decision. Oh, and Pettis, it could also be a submission, could also be a liver shot. Magdesi KO TKO round 2. Figueiredo KO TKO round 2. Pena KO TKO round 2. That I'm sure that will not happen, but Barber also KO TKO round 2. This is just a coincidence on this one. And then I have Saenz by boring decision. He's just gonna fitch Marlon Vera. Alright, guys, have a good one.